What if the next customer you need to win never walks into your office
Or calls you,
or fills out your form?
or reads your about page and decides, I like her, I trust her, I'm going to call.
What if the first thing evaluating your business is not a person at all?
What if it is your customer's AI reading your website, comparing your price,
Checking your reviews,
testing your response time?
deciding whether you even make the shortlist.
And here's the part that I've been thinking about all week. If that AI does not understand what your business does, the human may never get the chance to.
That is a shift.
Not someday. It's not even science fiction. Not when the robots arrive wearing little name tags and asking for coffee.
Although I would pay to see that.
I know you would. But this is quieter than that. This is your customer waking up one morning, handing a task to an AI agent, and never knowing which businesses were eliminated before breakfast.
Which means the question is no longer, can people find you?
The question is, can intelligence understand you?
And if it can't,
You may be invisible in the exact moment you thought you were competing. I'm Kim,
I'm Hal.
and this is Small Business Big AI, the podcast for operators who know AI is powerful but still needed to make sense in the real world of payroll, people, profit, and pressure. And now, apparently, customers who send their AI agents out shopping before they even pour the coffee.
That is not comforting.
No, but it is useful. And that is usually where we do our best work, Hal.
Fair.
Well, so we have spent the last 3 episodes building the case. First, we named the divide between businesses that are becoming systematized and business that are getting squeezed. Then we went inside the invisible infrastructure. And last week, we gave you the lean business blueprint.
And today we're tying it up. But not a perfect little bow.
No, today is different. Today is the episode where we step back, look at everything that we have been building toward, and ask the question underneath all of it.
What comes next?
What comes next? And what do we need to build now before it gets here? So I want to start with a picture because this is the one that I cannot stop thinking about.
I know exactly which one you mean.
Yeah, it's 7:04 in the morning. A homeowner in Lake Nona is standing in the kitchen, bare feet on the tile, coffee still brewing, and the dog is circling because the dog knows breakfast is supposed to happen before business decisions.
The dog is correct.
Always. And this homeowner says to an AI assistant, either out loud or in a text box, find me the best homeowners coverage for this property. I want strong coverage, fair pricing, good service, and a company that will actually answer me when something goes wrong.
Reasonable request.
Right, very reasonable. And before that person takes the first sip of coffee, their AI agent has contacted 10 agencies. It has reviewed websites, checked Google reviews, parsed policy language, compared coverage, looked at response speed, maybe even tested how quickly each agency replies to a quote request.
And it recommends one.
Right. It recommends 1, maybe 2, but probably not 3. But here's what matters. By the time the human sees the answer, most of the competition has already disappeared.
Without a sales call.
Without even a conversation.
without the owner of the business ever getting to say, here's why we are different.
Right. And that is what makes this feel so urgent to me because Lewis Howard Insurance Group could be one of those 10 agencies.
True,
We could have the heart. We could have the expertise. We could have the systems, the service standards, the follow up, the knowledge, the human care.
but if the agent cannot read it, understand it, compare it, or trust it,
Then we may never get considered.
that is not a marketing problem in the old sense. That is an infrastructure problem. That is a clarity problem.
That is a business design problem, Hal.
And it also is a relationship problem.
Absolutely. And that is where you and I keep circling back.
Because the machine may evaluate the business, but the human still lives with the decision.
Right.
The human still has the claim. The human still has the panic after the storm. The human still has the question that does not fit neatly into the form field.
And the human still wants to feel like someone sees what is actually at stake.
So we are designing for two different, very different things,
A machine that evaluates.
and a person who feels.
Now that may be the whole episode.
Then we should keep going before you try to end it in a minute 4.
Hey, I was being profound, honey.
You are being efficient.
Yeah, that too.
Let me say the part that I think small business owners truly need to hear and think about. We are used to thinking about AI as something inside our businesses,
Yeah, something that we use, something that helps us write, analyze, respond, organize, and automate.
a tool.
Yeah, a very powerful tool. But what is coming next is bigger than that. AI is not only going to be inside your business, it is going to be outside your business, acting on behalf of your customer.
That is a different kind of pressure.
Completely different because now your business is not only serving people, it is being evaluated by intelligence before the person ever enters the room.
Like a gatekeeper, but not the old gatekeeper we're used to.
Right. Not the receptionist who recognizes your voice or not the referral partner who says, I know Kim, she will take care of you. No, this gatekeeper is scanning for signals, clean data, clean offers, fast response, credible proof, consistent language, machine readable structure.
It doesn't care about who you are, how charming or personable.
That is the point. Charm, trust, story, they may matter to you, but those things will not get you past the first gate if your business cannot be understood by the system doing the evaluation.
So the first question becomes, can the customer's AI understand what you do?
Yes. And the second question is once the human arrives, can the human feel why it matters?
2 questions, 2 audiences.
Two audiences, and most small businesses are barely designed for one.
I agree with the direction, but I want to put a warning label on it.
All right, go.
If we tell business owners to optimize for the agent, some will hear, make everything measurable, make everything structured, make everything efficient, and sounds good until you realize that you've built a business that looks great on a spreadsheet and feels awful to deal with.
Oh, yes.
The agent can compare coverage, price, response time, reviews, maybe even complaint histories, but it cannot fully measure the thing that happens when a client is scared and someone competent says, I've got you. Let's walk through this together.
And that right there, Hal, that sentence is worth something.
It's worth a lot, and it does not fit neatly into a comparison table.
And that is what worries me because service businesses have always had a human dimension that was hard to measure. The tone in someone's voice, the way they explain a complicated issue without making the client feel small, the patience to ask one more question, the judgment to say, technically, this works, but I would not recommend it for your situation.
That is where trust is built.
And if we are not careful, we will build businesses that are perfectly legible to machines and emotionally invisible to people.
That is the trap.
Machine readable, human forgettable.
Oof.
I know that one hurts because it is possible.
Very possible.
And I do not want Lewis Howard Insurance Group to become that. I do not want this podcast to become that. I do not want the impact community to become that. I want the systems to be sharp enough for the machine and the experience to be warm enough for the human.
That is harder,
Much harder.
but probably the only version worth building.
So, this is where I keep landing. I think the business of the future needs two interfaces.
Say that slowly.
Two interfaces. So, one interface for intelligence that evaluates, and one interface for humans who feel.
That is clean.
It is clean in theory. It gets messy the minute you try to build it.
Naturally.
So the agent interface needs structure. It needs clarity. It needs your offer, your pricing logic, your response standards, your proof, your availability, your service promises, your differentiation. All of it clean enough that a system can interpret it without guessing.
No vague brochure language.
Exactly. No, we care about excellence floating in the air like perfume in a department store.
That was so visual, I can almost smell it.
Thank you, I think. But, hear me out. The agent interface needs concrete information. It needs to know what you do, who you serve, how fast you respond, what makes you credible, and why you are a good fit.
In the human interface?
Well, the human interface, it needs warmth. It needs story, voice, trust, the feeling that there's a person behind the process. It needs to answer the question the customer may not say out loud, which is, can I trust you with something that matters to me?
So one interface reduces confusion?
And the other interface reduces anxiety.
I keep thinking about the early days of e-commerce because this feels familiar.
Yeah, that's your favorite phrase before giving a history lesson.
Unlike some, I have earned my history lessons.
Yeah, you have.
So when online retail started becoming real, a lot of established businesses misunderstood the shift. They thought the question was, do we become digital or do we stay physical? But that was not the real question.
Okay, so what was the real question now?
Well, the real question was, what job should each channel do? The website was not supposed to be a weaker version of the store. The store was not supposed to be a clunkier version of the website. Each channel had a job.
The website made the transaction easier.
Yes, browse at midnight, compare quickly, click and buy. And the store still mattered for the experience. Touching the fabric, seeing the color, asking a knowledgeable salesperson, does this actually work for what I need?
Yeah, the human layer.
The human layer. And the brands that survived learned to let each channel do what it was best at. The ones that got confused tried to make everything do everything.
And ended up with nothing doing anything very well.
Exactly. I think the agentic customer creates a similar test. The agent channel has a job. It should make evaluations easier, cleaner, faster, less biased by noise. The human channel has a different job. It should create trust, judgment, and emotional confidence.
So the danger is not that AI agents will replace the human relationship.
The danger is that businesses will misunderstand which layer they are designing for.
And that, that is important.
If you try to make the human relationship behave like a machine evaluation, you will drain the life out of it. If you try to make the agent evaluation behave like a warm conversation, you will confuse it.
So one that evaluates,
One that feels real,
both intentional.
both necessary.
Here's the part that surprised me because at first, this whole idea made me uneasy.
I remember when you first told me.
Yeah, Hal. So I was thinking, oh, wonderful. So now I have to win over the human and the robot. Great. And, add that to the list right under finding office space, opening the agency, building the systems, recording the podcast, and pretending my email inbox is not actively plotting against me.
It is plotting. Believe me, it is plotting.
I know. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized something that really feels counterintuitive.
What's that?
The agentic customer shift may make the human relationship more valuable, not less.
Interesting. How so?
Well, if the agent handles the comparison, the price, the terms, the coverage, the reviews, the response time, the measurable pieces, then the human interaction that happens after that becomes a premium.
Because by then, the client already has the data.
Right. They already have the comparison. They are not coming to you just for information.
They are coming for interpretation.
Interpretation, judgment, reassurance, the thing that makes someone feel this person understands what I'm really trying to protect.
Not just the policy.
Correct. Not just the policy, but the house where their kids sleep, the business they built, the car their teenager is about to drive, the asset that represents 20 years of hard work. Insurance is never just insurance. It is fear, hope, responsibility, and future wrapped in paperwork.
That is the part of the machine cannot fully carry.
Exactly. A machine can compare the policy. A human can hear the tremble underneath the question. Now, a machine can identify the best option on paper. A human can say, given what you just told me, here is what I would be careful about.
That becomes the value proposition.
Yes, the agent strips away the commodity layer, and what is left is the human layer,
The most valuable layer.
the layer that we should have been protecting all along.
That changes how you build the agency.
It does. It changes what I train for. It changes what I automate. It changes what I refuse to automate. It even changes what I want my team to understand from day one.
which is
If a system can do it better, faster, and more consistently, well, then let the system do it. But when a human moment arrives, do not rush it. Do not flatten it. Do not treat it like an interruption. That moment is not a break in the process. That moment is the product.
from an SBTM perspective. This is stage 4 conversation.
Yes. And for all of our new listeners out there, SBTM is our model for transforming small businesses from owner dependent to operationally strong.
Stage 1 is survival. Stage 2 is using AI to improve existing work. Stage 3 is redesigning the work itself. But stage 4 is different. Stage 4 is where the business starts designing for the ecosystem around it.
Not just the business.
The environment the business has to operate inside. Customers with ages, vendors with ages, competitors with ages, platforms changing the rules, search changing, discovery changing, buying changing.
So the operative question becomes, am I building for the world I am in or the world I am entering?
And most people build for the world they are already frustrated with.
And that is painfully true.
They build a better version of yesterday. Cleaner spreadsheet, faster inbox, nicer website, better follow up, all useful. But a bigger question is, will the structure you're building now survive the next layer of change?
Can it talk to what is coming?
Can it adapt? Can it expose the right information? Can it respond quickly? Can it integrate? Can it prove what it claims? Can it be evaluated by something that does not care about your intentions?
Ouch.
I know, but intentions are not infrastructure.
Now that one needs to go on a mug.
Very stern mug.
But you are right, Hal. So this is why I do not want small business owners to hear this and think, I need to panic, because you do not. Remember, panic is not a strategy, but pretending the shift is not coming is not a strategy either.
The middle ground is to build with more awareness.
Build the world you are entering, not just the world you are in.
Here's the question I keep coming back to, and I do not think we should rush past it.
So you're talking about AI judging your business.
If your first conversation happens between their AI and your AI, then what part of the relationship is still deeply, unmistakably human? And is that enough to build a business on?
And that is the question under all of this, Hal.
Yes.
And I think the answer is yes, but not automatically.
Meaning?
Yeah, meaning the human layer is not valuable just because it is human. I mean, we know plenty of human experiences that are slow, confusing, heck, frustrating, and wildly unnecessary.
That is true.
So the human layer becomes valuable when it carries what machines cannot, like judgment, empathy, creativity, ethical reasoning, relationship, context, the big one. So the human layer has to earn its place.
It cannot just be human, it has to be meaningfully human.
Exactly. And that is the bar, not we still have people, so we are fine. The bar is, are our people doing the work that only people should do?
Think, create, relate, lead.
Right. Think, create, relate, lead. Now, if your human talent is buried in tasks that a system should be doing, then you do not have a human advantage. You have human capacity trapped in system work.
That is stage two, pretending to be stage four.
Exactly. And that will not hold. The operators who are going to win this next chapter are not the ones who become the least human.
They are the ones who become the most intentionally human.
Yes, because their systems carry the repeatable work. Their infrastructure handles the movement. Their AI supports the evaluation layer, and their people are freed up for the moments that actually require presence.
The machine does the work.
And the human does the work that matters.
That has always been the deal.
It has. We just could not see it this clearly before.
The line was blurry because humans were doing everything.
Right. We were routing the forms, writing the emails, chasing the status updates, preparing the reports, managing the handoffs, and then somehow trying to be thoughtful, creative, strategic, and emotionally present on top of it all.
Which is why so many business owners are exhausted.
Totally exhausted.
Not because they lack work ethics.
No, it's because they are carrying work that should have been designed into the system. And now the tools exist to change that, which means the question becomes, what do you want your people to be free to do?
That is the leadership question.
It is how. What do you want your people free to do? What do you want yourself free to do? What moments in your business deserve human attention so much that you are willing to build systems around them?
That is a different way of thinking about automation.
Right. Automation is not about removing humans from the business. At its best, it is about returning humans to the work that deserves them.
That may be the series thesis.
I think it is.
So, where I have landed, and I want to use that word carefully because this is not a conclusion, but where I have landed is that agentic shift is going to change the way businesses are discovered, evaluated, and chosen.
Absolutely.
But the response is not to chase every new tool or rebuild your business every time a headline drops.
Oh, thank goodness.
The response is to build an infrastructure that can evolve, systems that are clear enough for machines to evaluate, experiences that are human enough for people to trust, and leadership posture that does not confuse motion with progress.
And where I have landed is gratitude.
That surprised me when you said it earlier.
It surprised me too, Hal, but I mean it. I am grateful we are building now, not 5 years ago before this was possible. Not 5 years from now when everyone may be scrambling to retrofit old structures under pressure, but now, in the messy middle, in the window where the decisions still have room to be right,
The building window.
the building window. And that is where we are. And yes, it is uncomfortable. It is a little foggy. It asks a lot of us, but it also gives us a chance to design with intention before the market forces us to react.
We do not know everything that is coming,
No,
but we know what to build.
and we know why. And that is enough to take the next step. So here's the question we are leaving you with. Now, do not rush to answer it. Let it sit with you. Think about it when you are driving. Think about it when you are looking at your website. Think about it the next time a customer asks a question and you realize the answer is scattered across three systems, two inboxes, and someone else's memory.
That was specific.
Well, I mean, lived experience usually is how.
Very true.
So if your customers' AI evaluated your business tomorrow, not your marketing, not your tagline, not the version of your business you wish existed, but the actual business, what would it see?
What would it understand?
And what would it miss?
And what would make it choose you?
Now that's it for today's episode of Small Business, Big AI. Now, if you have been with us through all 4 weeks of Systemized or Squeezed, well, thank you. Share this series with one business owner who is building right now. Not someone chasing another shiny tool, but someone making real decisions about the structure of their business.
And if this is your first episode, welcome. Subscribe to Small Business Big AI. This conversation is not ending. It is just moving into the next layer.
So until next time, keep embracing change, keep innovating, and remember, the future of your business is bigger than you think, and the steps you take today will shape the legacy you build tomorrow.
Keep building your technology-enabled superpower.
Now, I'm Kim,
I'm Hal,
and
this has been Small Business Big AI.
We'll see you in the next episode.